What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to listen to the all 16 retro CDs. Hopefully that we don't get an error that it cuts off the audio feed, and hopefully we don't get cut off when it... Oh yeah, when there's a connection problem. But now we are have to listen to every single retro CD tapes once and for all. Now, many people have pointed out that Glamrock Freddy is possessed by the spirit of Michael Afton. And I do believe in the theory with his eyes changing from blue to purple, and the similarities. And when I check the other Glamrock's eyes, their eyes aren't glowing.
Everybody still loves me, right?
Okay. Let's do this.
Hello, Vanessa. How are you feeling today? You look a little tired. Well, it's been a while since we last spoke.
Ah,
How's your
they
anxiety
added
been?
the text.
You did so well with your calming protocols when we first worked together. Are you still using those? Yes? Okay, good. Well, now I understand there's a new issue. It came on just recently? Rather suddenly? Can you tell me about it?
What issue? I've been doing my job. I come in and sit at my desk and do my work.
Yes, of course you do. Your performance reviews are good. But a routine check of your online history has revealed that you spent quite a bit of time with someone in an encrypted conversation. We have transcripts, and I've read them. But it's not clear what you're talking about in these conversations. I can't make sense of it. You must be getting something from these that I'm not getting, right? Who are you talking to in these?
No one. Sometimes I talk with Lewis. He's in the marketing department. He's nice, I guess.
Yes, I see Lewis here. But there's someone else.
So yeah, Vanessa is confirmed to be called Ness, and she did talk to Lewis. But the therapist says that. But the therapist started to become very suspicious when she says that Vanessa is talking to someone else. A very encrypted message. This is most likely that she is talking to Glitch Trap.
Good morning. Isn't it a pretty day? No? What's the matter? Oh, right. Too bright. I'll pull the shades. Better? When the shade's pulled, it feels like we're in a cubbyhole or a cave? Yeah? So you're not talking to me again today? This isn't all that productive, you know. Don't you think the sessions are more successful when you talk to me? You know, everyone associated with this company gets performance reviews, right? When my sessions don't get results, my reviews aren't very good. If you don't want to talk for your own sake, how about for mine? You don't want me to get in trouble, do you? I could be put in the corner for a timeout. Yeah, you think that's funny, huh?
Okay, so. Hello. Okay, so obviously Vanessa or Vanny is patient 46, but under the control of Glitch Trap. William Afton likes to hang out in dark places, or maybe this is bait. No. And I think Glitch Trap and Vanny also like the dark. What game are you playing? Security Breach. Okay, let's go back.
Hi, go ahead. Sit down.
I don't know you. What happened to...
Oh, we'll get to know each other in no time. I've read through all your files, so I feel like we've been talking for weeks. I feel like I know your dad, too. Bill, right? Your dad's name was Bill? I'm sorry, what did you say?
I try to do what I'm supposed to do.
I know you do. Your supervisor notes that you follow instructions perfectly. Your dad made you follow instructions, didn't he? I'm talking about the custody battle between your mum and your dad. Your dad didn't play fair, did he? He used to make your mum look bad in court. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Do you want to talk about how that felt? I suppose I don't need you to tell me it felt bad to have a parent scare you into saying things that weren't true. He manipulated you. It wasn't your fault. It's really sad. But it's common for one parent to use their child to hurt the other parent. I know your mum. after she lost the custody case.
I was supposed to be a good girl.
What happened to her had nothing to do with you, even though it was your testimony that did it. Was that testimony true? No, I didn't think so. But your dad is to blame, not you.
Okay, so obviously what's happening here is that Vanessa's dad, named Bill, which is short for William Afton, got into a custody battle with her mother, which I don't believe that's the case. It was actually Elizabeth's mom that got into the custody battle. Remember, when the first 4 games came out, Elizabeth wasn't even planned back then when Fnaf 4 first came out, meaning that William Afton had to have Michael with another woman. And I believe I have the answer. I believe that after Michael's mom died, William Afton was drowning himself into sadness, and he started drinking. He thought remarrying would be a good choice to cope with his grief, but it never worked, and that led into a custody battle, and William Afton being an abusive father towards his kids. Hence why William manipulated Elizabeth in the custody battle. Elizabeth agreed to take the part, but his other children weren't, leaving Elizabeth William's favorite child. This is why he doesn't want her to go near Circus Baby, even though he created an emergency stop, but a spirit was controlling her when Circus Baby says that she was no longer herself. And so yeah. Anyways, let's go.
You're not going to talk to me? No? What's the problem? Oh, the flowers? Yes, these are particularly fragrant today, aren't they? I'll move them. There. Now, let's see. What are you looking at? You're amazingly alert, aren't you? All right. Well, I'd like to have you tell me about yourself. But I can see that you're not going to do that. Or are you? All right then. If you aren't going to talk to me, I'll just go by these notes. You just sit there and be comfy. Or not. That chair doesn't really fit you, does it? Well, this won't take long. Let's see. Your previous counselor is no longer available. Does that bother you? No? You don't look surprised to see me sitting here instead of your last therapist. Well, then, let's get to it. I'll admit that some of what's in your file is a little surprising. Overall, you don't come across as a troublemaker. But if you read between the lines, it's clear that you have a little rebellious side, right? And I'm surprised by your knowledge of computers. You're something of a phenom. Do you know what that word means? It means you have unusual skill, like a hacker. I assume you know what a hacker is. Yes? Do you think of yourself as a hacker?
Okay, so obviously in here, Vanny, the baby parallel, hates flowers. And when the person talking to her mentioned that one of her therapists went missing, she doesn't seem to be bothered by that. This is because Afton used her body to kill the therapist to make sure that Vanessa never gets cured. And Vanessa or Vanny not fitting in the chair well could be alluding to her size in the suit. And also, the therapist called her a hacker. If you don't notice that in the game's security breach, the animatronics, the Glamrock animatronics, except for Glamrock Freddy, were hunting down for us, but they jump scare us instead, meaning that they aren't following their usual programming. And Glamrock Freddy says that hurting a guest goes against their programming. But Glamrock Freddy is the only one that isn't hacked. And according to his eyes glowing, it's a clear hint that he is possessed.
Good morning, Vanessa. Let's jump right in, shall we? I got a message last night about you, and I have to be honest, it was upsetting. Apparently, the IT department has put together a pretty lengthy report chronicling non-job-related communications that have been coming to your computer. The fact that you're still doing something obviously not work-related on the job is disturbing enough. But what bothers me about what I read is that the messages you're getting seem very manipulative in nature. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I get a lot of messages from friends. I like when Lewis writes to me. He's funny.
I'm not talking about Lewis. You know who I'm talking about. Why won't you open up about it? What you might not know is that this person who's been sending you messages has been hacking into your personal files too. These are the same files I have here. These files are full of details about your life. Do you know what that means?
I'm not in the tech department. I just type on the computers.
I know that. But what matters here is that this person who is contacting you knows a lot about you.
Lots of people know more than I do. Sometimes I need to listen.
Okay, so what's happening over here is that this therapist starts to become very suspicious when Vanessa is not doing something work-related onto his computers, and the message she is getting is very manipulated in nature. This is obviously Afton communicating to her, and it says that the therapist says that the person messaging her knows a lot about her and what she does. This again relates to Afton, that maybe William is looking into Vanessa's past and replacing it with Elizabeth's past. Also, Vanessa listened that she should have listened more. If you're not getting the parallel, Elizabeth didn't listen to her dad when he created Circus Baby, and when his dad isn't watching, Elizabeth said to Baby, quote, "Don't tell Daddy that I'm here. I want to watch your show too. I don't know why he won't let me come see you. You are wonderful. Hey, where did the other children go?" So yeah, Vanessa needs to listen more. So yeah, these parallels in these discs are telling us that Vanessa is a representation of Elizabeth, and Vanny is a representation of Baby.
Good morning. It's good to meet you. I've read your file, so I'm up to speed on what you and your previous therapists have worked on. Sure, you can have a candy. I'll have one too. You look chill sitting there like that. Not a care in the world, huh? All right. Well, I'd like to start by talking about your parents. What happened to them? And you? It was tragic. But when I looked through the notes, I didn't get a sense that you've processed that emotionally. When I read your account of what happened, it came across as, well, More of an objective rather than a subjective narrative. Oh, sorry. You don't know what that means, do you? What I mean is that the way you told the story is more like you were reading something from a book than you were talking about your own past. That makes me think you've cut yourself off from it. Is that right? Not sure? Well, I see in your file that you spend a lot of time by yourself and are good at self-dialogue. You know what I mean? Asking yourself questions and getting answers. So maybe you should ask yourself how you really feel about your past. Maybe you should give yourself a chance to really look at what happened and let yourself be upset about it, so you can let it go.
Okay, so what's happening over here is that Vanny got a piece of candy. This does imply that patient 46 is a child, because William Afton lured kids into the back room as Spring Bonnie by different ways of luring them. And of course, this therapist says that she is using someone else's past. Like, the way she is getting off telling her past is reading from a script rather than talking about her own life. And the tragic parents is very similar to Vanessa's, more proving that patient 46 is actually Vanny, not Eleanor. Because if you have not noticed the parallels, Eleanor is a clear match to the baby from the novel trilogies and Shadow Freddy as a whole. So yeah, if you're not getting the catch, Vanny acts like a child.
Hi, Vanessa. Would you like a candy? Butterscotch stay.
No, thank you. Those have 35 calories apiece.
Well, they taste good to me. Okay, I thought we could do something today that will help us get to know one another better. It looks like you've never taken an ink blot test, right? No? Okay. Then I'm going to show you some ink blots, like this one. And I want you to tell me the first thing it makes you think of. Here we go. What do you see here?
A treehouse.
It does look sort of like a treehouse, doesn't it? Do you like treehouses?
I like to sit outside and read.
That's good. Now, what about this one?
A beetle.
Really? Looks like a face to me. That's very interesting.
Okay, so in this video, in that tape, Vanessa doesn't like candy because she believes that it's 35 calories a piece. But I believe that Vanny does. Vanny is actually her split personality. That is why, while Vanessa doesn't like candy, her split personality does. And she mentioned that she likes to go outside and read, meaning that Vanessa is clearly a bookworm at this point. Also, yeah. Yeah.
Have you thought more about what we talked about? In our last session, you told me you were sad and scared about what happened to you. I suggested you write down exactly what made you so sad and scared. Did you do that? You know, I work with people of all ages, from little kids to the very elderly, and everyone reacts to tragedy differently. Tragedy always leads to a feeling of loss. It's as a whole it feels funny, right? Yeah. So, if you could process those feelings, how do you think it would affect your fantasies? Would you keep them the way they are?
So what the therapist is talking about here, it's patient 46, is that she works with everyone to all ages, from little kids to elderly, and she says that everyone acts tragically differently, and she tells her that the last time they talked, she was sad and scared. This is telling us that her other personality, Vanessa, was trying to break out of Afton's control. If you don't know that when people played AR, Ness searched the word help by itself, meaning that Glitch Trap was controlling her mind. It created a split personality for her named Vanny. So yeah. And the way that people act to tragedy differently, this is telling us that Vanessa is an Elizabeth parallel and Vanny is a parallel to Baby, with the personality with Glitch Trap in it. So yeah.
What are you doing? Oh, you like those? I do too. They smell so sweet, don't they? Apparently, the janitor on this floor has a garden and has been putting bouquets in the offices here for years. Do you ever grow things? No?
I work a lot.
I know you do. Maybe more than you should. More free time would do you good. Do you have a hobby? No? Perhaps we could find one for you, like a sport. No? I have a craft space in my basement. Maybe I could come up with something you could learn to do.
I don't like dark basements.
Okay, so what's happening here is that Vanessa actually likes things in the garden, specifically flowers. In fact, in Fun Night's Freeze 4 minigames, we see a flower in the picture, a flower picture in the girl's bedroom, assuming that people think it was Elizabeth, but it actually belongs to Cassidy. The pigtail girl's text actually matches up with the final speaker on night 6. Her connections with the flowers means her connections to Baby, which is telling us that Elizabeth possesses Circus Baby and Cassidy's remnant is still inside of Circus Baby. This lines up when Circus Baby says that she was no longer herself when Elizabeth entered the room. And William shut it down as if, like, this wasn't supposed to happen. So, yeah. And it's also mentioned that she hates dark basements. Elizabeth was trapped in a dark basement with trapped inside Circus Baby, which is the underground facility for Sister Location. This proves that Vanessa's memories are being replaced with Elizabeth's.
I'd say make yourself comfortable, but I think you already are. It looks like you could take a nap. That's a nice chair, isn't it? According to these message logs, you've been working pretty late over the last couple of weeks. Or not working. Are you ready to talk about who you're interacting with? From what I can see here, the interaction is getting more serious. Is it distracting you from your work?
My work is important. There's a non-disclosure agreement.
Okay, so what's happening in here is that the therapist says that Vanessa looks very comfortable in her chair, and she thinks that she isn't doing enough work. But Vanessa says that she likes doing work, and the therapist session, and that session ended. So, yeah. Not much parallel there, it's just Vanessa being Vanessa. let's move on.
Good morning, Vanessa. Well, I can't blame you for looking out the window instead of listening to me. It's a gorgeous day, isn't it?
I like the blue sky.
So do I. Now, let's see what we can get done on this nice sunny day. Okay, here we go. I know part of your job requires you to do online searches, but a routine audit of your search history has revealed that you're doing a little private searching on company time. Is that right?
I get breaks.
That's true. So, on your breaks, it looks like you were shopping for a costume. You purchased some fake fur material. What are you gonna make? What was that? Did you say the costume is a secret? Why is that?
I can't talk about this. He said he would always be watching. He could be here, or there, or anywhere in between.
Are you talking about your dad? Have those feelings come up again? I hate sounding like a broken record, but this is something you really need to resolve if you're ever going to be happy.
I have. I compartmentalized him. He's locked away.
No, that's not what I mean. You can't just ignore an issue. You have to face your memory of the experiences and process them so you can let it go. So you don't get triggered anymore. You can use a sort of self-dialogue to release these things.
I don't like doing that.
Well, okay. We'll get back to that. I'd really like to know something about this costume. What's it for?
Okay, so obviously what's happening here is that Vanessa likes the blue sky, but patient 46 hates it and she prefers it dark. Also, the therapist mentions that Vanessa is doing a private search and searching for making a costume with fabric or fur. However, she is obviously creating a rabbit costume. So yeah. And she is still scared about William, and she said she has locked him away. In the VR game, we get trapped behind a door, and Glitch Trap gets turned into a plush, meaning that William Afton is still around somewhere, still alive.
I understand you'll be transferring to a different location soon. I'll be sorry to see you go. I think we've been making progress, don't you? You can request to come back and speak with me more on your own time, though. Did you know that? Our sessions don't have to be company mandated. I have all sorts of clients, Vanessa. I don't just work with corporations. I work with individuals and small groups. I even work in schools. I'm wherever I'm needed.
I'm needed somewhere else now. Thank you.
Okay, so what's going on here is that Vanessa is transferring to another workplace because therapist says that she is surprised to see her go. This is obviously that she applied to the job as a security guard at the Mega Pizzaplex, even though one of the bag messages says that she never got in, but someone hacked onto her computer, obviously Glitch Trap. So yeah, let's move on.
When I'm getting to know a new client, I like to start by finding out directly from them what they like to do. How do you spend all the time you have? Nothing. Well, how do you feel about sports? You like sports? Yeah? No? Oh, I get it. You like to watch them, but not play them. You like being inside, don't you? I get that. Lots of weird stuff outdoors, isn't there? Yeah, I understand. Well, I hate to do this right off the bat, but I've been directed to ask you about this. Apparently, I'm the 4th therapist you've had. And apparently, all 3 of your former therapists have gone missing. Or 2 of them are missing. I don't want to scare you, but I have to tell you that one of them was found dead. That doesn't seem to upset you. Well, then I guess I'll go ahead and tell you that the woman's body was pretty messed up. It looked like it was mangled by machinery. That doesn't bother you either? It's all pretty strange, I think. I'm not clear on the circumstances. Apparently the police don't have any evidence. How does all of this make you feel? Maybe I should be watching my back. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Okay, shall we move on to something lighter?
Okay, so what's happening here is that she tells Vanny that she is her 4th therapist, and 2 of them went missing, and one of them found to be dead, but it never bothered her. This proves that Afton is taking control of him, and he is used of killing kids that he never regretted or felt guilty about it. And the therapist mentions later. This proves that Glitchtrap has enough and takes over Vanessa's body to go to these therapy sections, and he started killing them until there are no more therapists to take the job.
Do you know a place called Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex? I'll take your silence as a yes. And besides, I know you know it, because the technicians who work for Pizzaplex know you. Or rather, I guess it would be better to say that they think they do. They report that they've caught you on camera, or at least it appears to be you. Nothing to say about that? Well, the techs are convinced that you've hacked into their system many times. Although, I'll admit I don't see any proof here. Seems like they have more of a gut feeling than fact. But apparently, the hacks are causing all kinds of problems. You get a kick out of that? The idea of techs running around like chickens with their heads cut off? Yeah, that's a funny image, isn't it? But seriously, I have to say that I think it's weird that you'd spend so much time in such a busy, social place. You seem like more of a loner to me. Lots of time by yourself instead of with friends. Lots of time talking to yourself. Right? Is it the electronics you like? I saw in your file that you have developed software programs that talk to you in repeat phrases, right? The program asks you questions and prompts you for responses. It's kind of like your own self-therapy, isn't it? Another way of talking to yourself to work things out, right? When I saw some of your recent encrypted conversation logs, that's what I thought I was looking at. It felt like I was watching someone go back and forth in their own head. But the techs found something that's different than that. When I read what they found, at first, I thought I was looking at more examples of you just talking with yourself. Then I realized it was different. When I study this, it sounds like there is someone else responding to you. Who is it?
Okay, so what's happening here is that the therapist mentions Vanny that she mentions Freddy Fazbear Mega Pizzaplex, and she hacked into their system many times. And the cameras looks. In the gameplay, when Vanny gets closer to us, our vision gets blurry and thin. Like Vanny doesn't. Vanny is getting closer and closer by the minute. Also, it's also mentioned that Vanessa likes to spend time alone, somewhere in the dark, rather than friends, which could obviously be that she doesn't do it in sunlight. And the therapist also mentions of her mind going back and forth, like as in, like, she isn't in self-control of her own mind. Vanessa has a split personality named Vanny, and her mind split between a normal rude security guard to a very serial killer bunny when Afton took control of her brain. And the only human that we see in the Mega Pizzaplex is Vanessa.
I saw some ink blot test results in your file. I like ink blot tests. You want to do one? Yes? Okay. How about this one? What do you see? What? You want to hold it? Okay. You think it's a mask? It reminds you of a mask? Like a disguise? Yeah, I can see that. You like the idea of being disguised? Disguises let you be sort of invisible, don't they? You can get away with almost anything when you're invisible, can't you? Yeah, you like that idea? Well, okay, moving on. I have another report we need to talk about. Apparently, the techs were reviewing communications going in and out of this building, and they came across some interesting things. They say you were in communication with someone. Or maybe something. Pretty strange. What do you think about that? Nothing? Well, the techs say it looked to them like it was an attempt to manipulate you, or maybe to lure you somewhere. There, that's better. On this side of the desk, I can see your eyes. The thing is, when I read the communications, I get something different out of them. I don't think you're being manipulated here. I think you're the one doing the manipulating. No comment? Huh? Okay. Then how about this? I have this still shot the techs pulled from the security footage that recorded you in the Pizzaplex. That's you, isn't it? I know this image is distorted, but I think it looks like you. And you're not alone here. You're talking to someone. Or something. It's hard to tell. What are those things? They almost look like rabbit ears. What? You find that amusing? Well, I guess it is.
Okay, so what's happening here is that the fifth therapist talked to Vanny, and she said that she spotted her. The text report says that she spotted her in the Pizzaplex, and she says this image is distorted. And remember, Vanny... Oh, yeah, when Vanessa or Vanny gets close to us, our visions get distorted, like she is nearby. She is using Illusion Disc. Illusion Disc can make you very invisible or change your identity according to the trilogy. It's almost... And someone or the book says that it's associated by making a very high-pitched ringing noise. Also, the therapist mentioned that she can get away by being invisible. When Gregory asks Freddy of what was that after Vanny asked, Freddy says that that is a fountain, but Freddy says that she has never seen a rabbit in the Pizzaplex, meaning that Vanny is the one turning invisible. And the therapist says that patient 46 is the one doing the manipulation, is a hint that Afton's cover was almost blown, Because remember, William Afton has experience of being a manipulator. He lied to Susie, telling that her dog is alive, only to lure her in. And she manipulated Vanessa by telling her to lie about her past and uses someone else's. If you get the connection here, Glitchtrap tried to manipulate Jeremy and Tape Girl, but it never worked. Jeremy was corrupted of break to insanity that he ended up committing suicide by slicing off his own face. And Tape Girl was trying to destroy the logs. The Glitchtrap took over some of them, but not completely. Anyway, so let's get into another one. So yeah. And the therapist says that she sees rabbit ears. Patient 46 is obviously talking to Glitchtrap. She is starting to see rabbit ears. Let's go.
I got another message from the text at the Pizzaplex. I'm afraid it's about you again. The techs have been struggling to fix some serious glitches with the robots. I'm not sure what exactly is wrong, except that it's making the robots more eerie than entertaining. You like that? Eerie instead of entertaining? Thanks, but it's really not that funny. Apparently, the glitch extended beyond the robots. It went system-wide. It began infecting all the machines, and when the techs traced the glitch back to its origin, it led them to you. I'm not going to pretend to understand everything I'm reading here, but what I get is that the system-wide glitch was like a cascade that was broadcasting a very dangerous message. While the techs were trying to reprogram the system to remove the glitch, the source of the glitch shifted. You'll have to excuse me, I'm not all that familiar with computer programming, so I might get this wrong, but what I understand is that the glitch stopped being a glitch and turned into an intentional set of subroutines that were aimed at creating the same thing the glitch created. Those subroutines seem to have come from you. Can you explain that? Listen, I'm on your side here. Our sessions are just between you and me. The techs can't prove what they think, so you're not in trouble. I just thought you could tell me what you're trying to do. Maybe if we could get to the bottom of that, it could help you. What do you think? Still not talking? All right. Well, then let's do this. Why don't we talk about the research I did in your past, shall we? Some therapists think they should only focus on information they get from their clients, but some therapists, like me, think it's helpful to find out about clients from other sources. Want to guess what I found out when I looked into the tragedy of your past? All that stuff about your parents? You aren't even gonna look at me? Fine. You can look at the floor all you want. But it won't change the fact that none of what you said in your file about your parents was true. The truth is, you had great parents, a great childhood. Why did you lie? Look at me. Tell me why you lied. Well, I can understand why you might feel angry about the way I just confronted you. Why don't we come back to this another day? You're shaking your head as though that's not going to happen.
Okay, so what's obviously going on here is that this therapist says that the glitches are going system-wide and it's making the robots more eerie than entertaining. But Vanny doesn't seem to be bothered by that, and she says that when she says that she traced the glitches back to its origins, it led to patient 46. meaning that Afton's cover was almost blown. And when therapist says that she looked into the tragedy of the past, it looks like that patient 46 / Vanessa was lying about her past, and turns out that she had a great childhood. So yeah, Afton manipulated Vanessa's mind into creating her mind and tell a therapist to lie about her past when it's actually Elizabeth's past and not her. So obviously, what this is trying to tell us is that Glitchtrap doesn't like it when the therapist was telling the truth. So that's why when the therapist says that, I guess that's not going to happen when they meet again, meaning that Glitchtrap controlling Vanny's body had enough and decided to kill her, just like the other therapist. And he is trying to his best to make sure that Vanessa never gets cured. So yeah, I fully explain onto why patient 46 is Vanessa's split personality, Vanny. I know Vanny and Vanessa are the same person, but their personalities are very different. So yeah, I hope you fully understand of what I am saying. Also, the video I am working on, I might put this clip as a part of it so you can understand of what you're saying. And I'm going to call the part like, who is patient 46? My explanation and breakdown on the disc. So yeah, I did, and so far, the audio feed didn't cut, and we got, anyways, let's go back upstairs, because I clearly explain about them. Also, I'm never, ever, ever. Princess Quest 1. Ah, they updated the eye. Obviously, we're playing as Cassidy. As you can see, this red throne here leads to a throne room. But MacPat did a very good point that if the princess was supposed to be a stand-in for Vanessa, wouldn't he want to let her find the torches so he can take control of her? But if she is Cassidy, then of course he is going to do anything to not let her get in her way. She is a very powerful spirit, but not like the puppet. She is very vengeful. Obviously, this is Charlotte, meaning this one is Susie. This one is Jeremy, Gabriel, Fritz, and Cassidy. This very long carpet leads to this room. And it leads all the way to, you guessed it, William Afton. And I think this is gonna happen when Afton merges with Bob. Now pay attention. You notice the black tentacles right there? Those are the same black tentacles that are described in Epilogue 11. And it's telling us that Glitchtrap, or William Afton, is going to be the final boss in the DLC. Remember. So yeah. Oh, come on!
90% of those questioned would choose pizza over any other food group, even people with...
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So where were we? Oh, yeah.
Ideologies. This has been another fun Fast Facts.
I see. Cameras. Oh, wait. That wasn't what they had. Princess Quest 2. This is a parallel to Ultimate Cosmic, where Cassidy is a lot stronger. William Afton is defenseless. Dang it. It has to be that last one. Why? is this feeling? Stay back. And this is right here. This is supposed to tell us that Shadow Freddy is indeed a shadow representation of Golden Freddy. Not to mention, they have the same exact freaking model. Scott is definitely showing us these parallels to Shadow Freddy on purpose. Congratulations, your quest is done. Time to sleep. Storage. This is quest 3. Okay.
For your safety, please stay clear of the doors.
Because every time I think it, how is not subscribing to a channel illegal? But some of his videos are cursed. Cause every time I think it just turns on to you and me. Just tell me what you're after. I'll go fetch Maria. Okay guys, so I think I'm gonna stop here. We listened to the CDs. I clearly explain on why patient 46 is glitch trap or using Vanessa's body, and I explain it in a very clear detail that no one knows. I know that Vanessa is using Elizabeth's past, but that could be William manipulating her. And when the therapist said that William is the one doing the manipulation, it clearly means that Vanessa has been doing this before. Like, she lied to Susie about her dog still being alive and saying, "Follow me." He and Shadow Freddy teamed up in the following minigame, and he manipulated the animatronics. William is a huge manipulator. Also, Shadow's Freddy's connection with William's wickedness and Cassidy's agony, meaning that Shadow Freddy disguised herself as one of William's children in the books, or at least a parallel. In the novel, Circus Baby's, the adult version of Charlotte, which is Circus Baby, was created from Henry's rage, and Eleanor came to life after Dr. Talbert created the pendant, and Eleanor starts taking it. Her connections, her parallels with Shadow Freddy is quite obvious. Being responsible for the most evil of the story, being born from Afton's evilness, and so many more. The fact that Shadow Freddy is created from William's evilness, but knowing this parallel clearly means that Shadow Freddy is trying to please his creator, just like Elizabeth trying to please her dad. Shadow Freddy being a shadow replica of Golden Freddy being Cassidy, and Shadow Freddy being William's wickedness. This clearly means that William Afton, Elizabeth, and Cassidy are one of the only Afton family that act very villainishly. So yeah, I hope you guys fully understand what I'm trying to say, because that will become later on in the video I make. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy. Give it a thumbs up if you like the channel, and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.